Networking is everywhere. Those who know networking can live like a king. So networking made many kings actually. Many people who don't like programming, who don't like mathematics, they all came to networking even in their later adult age, and they became kings, no doubt. Such a wonderful branch of technology is what networking is. Because networking is everywhere. Networking is in school. If you know a little networking, you can go and maintain a lab in a school or in a college or in a hospital or in a hotel. So networking job is everywhere. Now, this networking is not just computers. Today we have computers, cell phones, iPads, not just those end devices. They are called as end devices. Those laptops, cell phones, iPads, computers, servers, and then the printers, the network. They're all end devices, end user devices. Users are using the device. But this is not the only networking device. For these computers to communicate, we have switches. We draw like this switch, we just draw a rectangle. We just put 4 lines like this, or if you want, you can put like this. Nothing wrong. This is how we draw switch. And we have routers. We draw like this. Routers. We also have firewalls. Firewall. When we say firewall, we have firewalls like ASA firewall, Palo Alto firewall, Fortinet firewall, and many more. See, Cisco's firewall is ASA firewall. This is how we draw ASA firewall. Palo Alto firewall, Palo Alto network firewall. This is how we draw. So we have different type of wires, medium. Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi is one medium through which we communicate. Radio waves, radio. We call it as radio waves. In your house also, you'll be having one Wi-Fi. Your laptop is accessing. And you got Ethernet cable. In Ethernet itself, you have various speed. According to the speed, the name will vary. If it is 10 meg speed, they are called as Ethernet. If it is 100 meg speed, they are called as fast Ethernet. If you have 1000 meg speed, we call gig Ethernet. Gig Ethernet. Right? We also have 10 gig. 10 gig Ethernet. So based on the speed, the name also varies, but they're all generally Ethernet technology. The protocol used in communication here is called Ethernet. Now, we also have fiber optics. You might have seen this fiber wire, very thin fiber. fiber optics, and lot of protocols involved. Likewise, there are many things to understand what networking is. So we got different protocols to learn, different devices to understand. All these devices are not configured in the same manner because they support different features. Routers have got special job to do. Switches have got different job to do. Firewalls do different job. So to make these devices to do their job, so we got different devices, different role to do. So they have different protocols. We also need to understand those protocols. We also need to learn how to configure these devices for the communication to happen. You see, we have different size network. Within an office itself is of different size. Sometimes you have office of 50 member, sometimes you have office of 500 member. So the network will or size will also vary. So more bigger the size, more devices will be involved, more protocols will be involved, more configuration, more quality of service is needed to be taken care. We call that as enterprises network. Enterprises networks are the networks that are of one single organization. One single organization. That is enterprises. For example, you see Cisco. Cisco is one company, one enterprises. They will have some 2,000 employees. For 2,000 employees, they will have somewhere around 2,500 end devices, computers. Not only computers, they will have many switches to connect those computers. They will have some routers to connect between the networks. That's enterprises network. Now, enterprises networks will be connecting to a service provider network. What is a service provider network? The network that allows enterprises to connect to the rest of the world is one example of service provider. Any network that provides service to other network. For example, Airtel. Airtel is a service provider. Why? They provide service to your enterprises, to your office. If your office wants to go online, you need to use the service provided by Airtel. Airtel provides the service. That's why they are called a service provider. See, they are also a big network in the middle. Not only you have computers, switches, routers, they also have routers, switches, computers in a big level to provide service. Like your company, there are many companies as a customer. Like your company, there are many companies as a customer to the service provider. So service provider is another network, but we call it a service provider because they provide service to help us communicate to the rest of the world. Another one is data center. See, data center is also another network, but why do we call it as data center? Because they got big storages. See, in your laptop, you may have a hard disk of 1 TB or 2 TB. These data centers will have thousands of TB hard disks. And organizations will go and put their data there and retrieve the data from there like a bank. Like people put money in the bank and take money from the bank. This portion of network where big storages from IBM. This is how a data center will look like. See, you have NetApps. Here it is written NetApps. NetApp storage box. You will have TBs and TBs of data. This is one of the data center in Benin City in Nigeria, right? In the data center, we are not only having the storage, we also have switches. You see, these are all routers. This one is a switch. Lot of wire you see here. This is a switch. This below one are routers, right? So we have a lot of rack mount servers. These are all servers, rack mount servers here on the top. So this is a network, but why do we call it as data center? Because it has got a lot of storage where people put data and whenever they want, they retrieve data. A centralized storage area. Yeah. See, this is NetApp storage box. Precious years, 2018. So we saw NetApps, IBM, etc. So that is data center. So some networks are called as enterprises because there you see mostly the end users, a big office where they work in computers, do some projects. Service provider is the one which helps to communicate to the outside enterprises. Data center is the place where we put data and retrieve data, right? These are the three main type of networks that you will see: enterprises network, service provider network, data center network. Now, in this environment, the protocols that we use, they are not the same. Even though they are all network, some protocols are seen in all these three, but some protocols are very particular to the environment. If you are working in an enterprises environment, you will see like protocol like OSPF. Whereas in service provider, you will see something like ISIS. ISIS is another protocol like OSPF. That's an example I'm giving. So what I'm trying to say here is, you will see sometimes people saying it's an enterprise's job. What does that mean? It means the job within an organization. It's a service provider job. What does that mean? You are working like an service provider like Airtel, providing service to various customers. That is service provider job. Data center job, what it means like you are going to work in cloud. Because people from various places, they rent a storage and they put the data. That's why we call that as cloud. It's not their own hard disk. So instead of you buying big hard disk, you rent it. You take for rent. Someone is renting it. You take for rent and you put your data there. Or you can have your own data center, which I showed you, in the pictures. That's our own data center. We maintain our own data center. If you use cloud data center, you don't need to maintain. Someone will maintain for you. You just need to put the data and retrieve the data. So today, Networking job is not just the same. Every network engineer is not going to do the same job. If you take your brother, he works in the security side of networking, which is needed in all these places. Data center also needs security. Service provider also needs security. Enterprises also needs security. So security engineers will also know network, but they may not know in depth to just to know understand the networking so that they can provide security. They will know. You understand? Do you understand? The security engineers, they will not know much in depth of networking, but they will know to the level that they can provide security to the network. So security engineer, network engineer, data center engineer, there are a lot of names. Depends on where you work. Fine. Now today we are going to focus on one very basic topic called, it's an important topic, basic topic. You might have already come across called OSI. Have you come across this term OSI? Yes or no? In college, what degree you did? Okay, BBA. Okay. See, Open System Interconnect. It is a standard. What is standard? ISO standard. Have you heard ISO standard? ISO certified. Yes. That is one standard. For what? ISO standard. Let's say ISO standard hospital. What does that mean? You no need to go and check the hospital. If you see somewhere written ISO standard hospital, you know very well that all these facilities will be there as per the standard. If it is not there, then only you need to check whether you need to ask someone, do you have so and so facilities? If someone has already written five-star hotel, you no need to ask whether there is a swimming pool or not. You no need to ask. If it is five-star, which is a standard, that should have a swimming pool in it, according to the five-star standard. Only then they will give that five-star. Now, in networking, for the network devices to communicate, there is need for a standard. If the devices are, see, we were talking about various type of devices. All these devices, you see, the computer, the laptop, the iPad, the printer, the switches, the routers, the firewalls, the wireless access point, wire, all this need to follow a standard. If they don't follow a standard, then they cannot work together. You see, if you want to work in abroad, you need a standard. What? You cannot talk in your mother tongue. Standard is English. Only then you can work in abroad. If we don't speak in English, then we don't have that standard. Then we cannot fit into that environment. English is mandatory. That's the standard. Standard. as per the standard. When we are, then we get the job. Likewise, if these devices need to communicate, they all need to have one common standard. See, I'm using a computer which you do not know. Do you know my computer make? I also don't know your computer make. But we are able to communicate. I don't know where you bought your laptop. I know where I bought my laptop. I bought in Singapore. But my laptop and your laptop is communicating now. How is that possible? If it is not communicating, then you cannot hear my voice. You cannot see my screen. Whatever I say, the same meaning is conveyed to you. Whatever I write, same thing your laptop monitor is showing. How is that possible? It is possible because whatever my laptop understands, your laptop can also understand. Because they both are designed by following one common standard called OSI. That is what called as OSI. OSI stands for Open System Interconnect. Open System Interconnect, OSI. Open System Interconnect. You see the word open? It means the systems, whatever they make, wherever it is manufactured, they all can interconnect openly without any problem. See, that's what we are doing right now. My computer name is Dell. What's your laptop name? Lenovo. You see, even though it is different system, these two can interconnect openly without any restriction. It is because this laptop which I'm using and the laptop that you use, the manufacturers used one common standard. If I need to put it in a simple word, they both referred the same book. They studied from same college. The manufacturers, they have referred one common procedure. That's why this laptop and that laptop can communicate each other. One common procedure, one common standard. Now, that standard has got 7 layers. The 7 layers in OSI. What are they? The 7th layer, it goes from the top, okay? 7th layer, you should not change because this is standard, no? So, according to the standard, 7th layer is the top layer, is called as application layer. 6th layer, called as presentation layer. 5th layer is called as session layer. 4th layer is called as transport layer. 3rd layer is called as network layer. 2nd layer is called as data link layer. At last, the first layer is called as physical layer. All right. See, this 7 layer have got 7 different functions to make for our data to be used for communication. Right now, I'm communicating to you, but actually, when I speak, data get generated from my laptop, and that data come to your laptop, and that data your laptop is reading and producing as a sound in the speaker. Speaker is an application there. So what is the 7 layer? It is functions that are carried out for the communication to happen. I'm going to go in depth in our coming classes so that you will understand how the 7 layer make systems to interconnect openly. I just told you open system interconnect is a standard that makes the communication possible. Now the 7 layers are same in your laptop and in my laptop. That is why whatever I send, you can see. Whatever you send, I can see. Whatever I speak, you understand. Whatever you speak, I understand. Not only the laptops, all these devices, they're all designed by using same OSI standard. Do you eat chicken? You buy chicken KFC anywhere. The taste is almost the same. How? They follow one standard in preparation. Even though one chicken is from Madurai, another chicken is from Tanjavur, the taste of the chicken popcorn is same in KFC. It is because of the standard. Same way, your laptop may have some chipsets in the motherboard. My laptop may have some other chipsets in my motherboard. But still, the way that the design is being done is same, is as per the OSI, Open System Interconnect. That is why my device and your device can communicate, right? Like this, we are going to start with many other things. So tomorrow our focus is on OSI. This is our topic. We'll be continuing with this topic. For next 2 days, we have to learn more from this one topic, OSI. This is a very basic and very important topic in networking. Yeah, we'll stop here.